Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaza here. Last week, Koei Tecmo and Omega Force released the brand new demo for the upcoming Dynasty Warriors Origins, and I had the chance to finally play it and give my general thoughts about this game, as I'm very excited for this game as one of my most anticipated for 2025, and I just want to also give you my general thoughts for those of you who are either excited or maybe on the fence about this game. But before we begin, if you like what you see here, then by all means, like the video, click the subscribe button if you're new, and hit that bell notification icon if you want more Dynasty Warriors content from yours truly. And with that said, let's get back to the video and talk about my impressions with the demo. So the demo of Dynasty Warriors Origins is available for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam, and it's also been enhanced for PS5 Pro. So for anyone who has that console, especially if they paid, $700 for it, well, you're gonna get your money's worth out of it, as that can be able to run to 4K 60 FPS, and you even have the option to bump it up to 120 frames per second. Not only that, but in this one, you get to play through the battle of History Gate, and you have the option of, changing your control settings, as well as 3 difficulty options. That of course being the standard easy, normal, and hard mode. Now in this one, obviously as I mentioned, you get to play through the battle of History Gate, and depending on how well you do, this demo can take you at least about 30 minutes to maybe even an hour or so, or maybe even less depending on how well you really handle in battle. And this will also give you the option of choosing your companion, or even going on solo, with the options being Guan Yu, Xiaodan, and Sun Xiang. And overall, this demo was really a pleasant surprise, and overall an enjoyable one. But let's get into the nitty-gritty and my general thoughts about the actual demo, now that we got the bases sorted out. Now, how was my experience? Overall, I really enjoyed this. First immediately that I just really was enamored by was the game's visuals. As good lord does this game look absolutely phenomenal, as the graphics here feel next level, especially for a Dynasty Warriors game, especially given the fact that they are utilizing the power of both the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC to great effect here, as everything from the cutscenes to the character models, the detail on them look absolutely amazing and honestly just look so beautiful. And I do like these sort of younger models for characters like Liu Bei, Cao Cao, and even Guan Yu for example. I know some people have their own mixed feelings about how they look, like say Yuan Shao for example, and while he's not present in the demo, there's obviously also Zhang Jiao, but overall the character models and the way the game looks really looks absolutely amazing. Now we get to the general gameplay, and I have to say it really feels good. Like, if you're expecting this game to be another classic, killing 1000 enemies without any rhyme or reason, without any form of challenge or anything, then oh boy, you're gonna be absolutely hammered for what they are gonna be showing here in this game, because oh god, this game is definitely not playing around. Like, this is easily one of the more harder Musa games, and it sort of harkens back to the more classic Warriors games for, like, say, Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, even the prior ones, where they're a little bit more difficult in a sense. Now sure, there's the occasional moments where you do take down 1000 peons with relative ease, though there are occasional things like say the enemy officers and the way they command the troops to be more aggressive and hard hitting. It's really where you have to keep on your toes to make sure when you have to dodge to attacks, parry them, as well as even counter their special moves that really would do a lot of damage to you. And speaking on that, we do have both a parry system and as well as a perfect dodge system, which is I think new to the series, which is absolutely pretty cool. I mean, it was used in like say the more licensed spin-offs, like say your Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, your Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Persona 5 Strikers, and Fate's Hammer Remnant. It's a scene of those sort of nuanced action role-playing elements take center stage in this game, adds a dynamic flavor to the combat. The general gameplay itself feels really good, with each of the weapons you get to switch between really feels so damn good. Like you have your sword, the great sword, the spear, and the wheels, all of which do give, a sense of, difference on how they play. Like you even get some like full-on aerial combat here. Like there's some cool aerial combos here, which honestly is pretty much new for the series. Another new element that really makes me happy would have to be the addition of the tactics system, the Eye of the Bird, or what it's called, where you basically command troops and use them to either do things like volley them with arrows or charge them against enemies and bosses and enemy officers, and you have to position on when to do it, and it gives it a sense of strategy in this. And I think this is where this game comes into its own and adds a new level of depth and actually strategy into this. Like this isn't just just mowing down 1,000 enemies for the sake of it and then bam, that's it, that's the whole entire game. No, there's actually a bit of flavor to the combat with the addition of tactics that honestly makes this game feel like a full-on strategy game, like some of other Koei Tecmo games, like say Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Nobunaga's Ambition, and heck, even Fire Emblem Three Houses, cause remember, even Koei Tecmo worked on that game as well. And honestly, this is pretty much a new addition, and I think this helps, improves upon the Dynasty Warriors formula. Among also the things I mentioned, like the parry and dodge system, and the fact that general enemies, including the fact that, enemy officers are more aggressive here. Like you really have to pay attention to attacks and know when to counter them. It's absolutely amazing. I also love the return of the duels, which is absolutely cool staple. I'm glad they brought it back to add a bit of flair to it. Like it's absolutely amazing, really all around. And honestly, there's also the fact that you can also play as different characters, if they are, temporarily in a sense, which is basically similar to how Fate's Hammer Remnant handled servants compared to Yori. And I know some people have mixed opinions about it, given the fact that, past Dynasty Warriors games you get to choose whoever you want to play as whenever you want to, as opposed to being it on a timer, a sense when the full-on Muso gauges are full, you get to switch them whenever and play them until it runs out. But honestly, I think this is a cool sort of like at a level of like strategy, like a trump card of a sort, like something as a backup move. Like when the going gets tough, bring out the tough, because the legacy officers are really powerful compared to your own protagonist. So I'm not too bummed about this inclusion here, though I do hope that obviously if this game gets like a free mode, I do hope you get to play as these characters like whenever you want without any sort of restriction whatnot, as I think that would be a good ideal here. But overall, this game really felt amazing play. I love running through the horse. If I had some gripes that I want to mention, it would have to be from the fact that, the tutorials could have been better placed in my opinion, as I don't think they fully convey on how to play the game, though it does take some bit of practice to get used to. I think if this game was, had better tutorialization throughout the demo, as it was better paced, rather than just occasionally pulling it while you're in the middle of combat, I think it would be better if combat was paused and you just use the combos that the tutorials are giving you. That would have been a much better game flow, but overall it was pretty fine. Another instances where I had an issue would be that the AI, especially from your, allies, might be a bit weird. Like some of them occasionally die at times. Like it does make sense for characters to, obviously die and lose to obviously raise the stakes. But some instances where I think characters, despite the fact that you can't really control them, they do occasionally die, and I think on harder difficulties, a lot of them just don't perform well as you would have hoped. I mean, some of them are very competent, but there's others that feel like, really? You had to really die? And obviously there's the whole issue of, staying as, the main protagonist and controlling him for the bulk of the demo, but overall, those issues aside, I think this is still a really, really fun time I really had. Like, this put me on the edge of my seat, made me sure I was getting ready for it, and overall, I just really had a fun time. That being said, let's get on to another thing that they really did that really took me by surprise, and honestly, I was just grinning all the way through. And the fact that he has returned and is a boss in the demo, and that is none other than...
It's Lubu!
It's Lubu! It's Lubu! Lubu's come to destroy us!
It's Lubu!
I'll show you how much better I am!
Keep an eye on them.
Watch well. Let's go. This is the power of the strongest warrior, unrivaled under heaven.
It's Lubu! We gotta get out of here!
Lubu, the man himself, the might of all man himself. And man, did they deliver on an amazing boss fight. First and foremost, he's hard as hell. Like, the moment you come to him, he has devastating moves that can really kick your ass. Whether it's unblockable attacks or attacks where he'll just command grab you and throw you off a leash, like, oh my god, that put the fear of god of me. And from his multiple slash attacks and the fact he'll even charge in with some special AoE attacks, this really is a boss that is not to take him lightly, and I'm glad that Lubu is a threat here, as honestly that's one thing you should really do when making a Lubu boss fight, is that you make him threatening. And I'm glad that he feels like a proper boss fight in here, like learning how to, parry his attacks, learning how to dodge, and learning how to use even the tactic system to even combo him. Like, it absolutely really is a great fight. I can't tell you the amount of times I died to this boss fight, like it's a multiple amount of times, so that does give a good sense of challenge here, which I'm really, really happy. And I spent replaying this demo and testing out multiple weapons to see how better I was at him, and honestly, he was just such a treat. Like, this demo alone was such a treat. And also the music, oh my god, the music is absolutely amazing. As expected from Dynasty Warriors, the music is absolutely amazing. I honestly love it. And that would have to be my general thoughts about the demo. I think this really is the demo that this game needed, and I'm happy to see that there's good positive reception around it. Like, a lot of people are really loving the demo here and are on board with the full game. Like, honestly, I think this is what the series needed, especially for a shake-up. I know some people still have their concerns about the limited roster of playable characters and how you can mainly just play as the main protagonist and occasionally switch to them when certain conditions are met. But overall, this game is shaping up to be pretty amazing, and I can't wait for the full game. But that'll be it for me. Let me know down in the comments of what you guys think about the demo. I'm going to be picking this game up day one. What do you have hopes for or concerns? Let me know. Until then, Mad Kaiser out.